Many people, myself included, have been decrying the age of the digital supercar. The fact that performance cars don't get manuals anymore, they only get automatics, really. And you know, natural aspiration is being replaced by turbos and hybrids. However, in 2016, a year where pretty much everything went wrong, there was a little glimmer of hope for people like me. Aston announced it would be the last manufacturer to have a sports car with a manual gearbox, and Porsche released this, the 911R.
Welcome to the Analogue era. Inside there's a manual gearbox with a positively futuristic 6 speeds. There is no radio and no air conditioning. There are some seats, a steering wheel and 3 pedals. That's it.
In the back, I've got a 4-litre naturally aspirated 6-cylinder engine straight out of the 911 GT-3 RS, and that means I've got 493 brake horsepower, 339 pound-foot. It'll do 0 to 62 in sub 4, obviously, and near as damn it 200 miles an hour. It's also 70 kilos lighter than the GT-3 RS.
Its rear windows are plastic, the hood and wings are carbon, and its roof is made of magnesium. There's a lightweight exhaust as well, and its manual gearbox saves 20 kilos over Porsche's own PDK. And there are no big silly wings to force it to the road. This then is a car based in the past.
Porsche went fairly hardcore with the whole lightweightness thing. So much so, in fact, they took out 4.5 kilos of sound deadening stuff that you would get on the GT-3 RS, which means it's chuffing noisy in here. This is about purity and experience and having 500 metric horsepower attached to something that weighs barely more than 1,300 kilos.
It's almost as if this is what would happen if Porsche started today and thought, right, let's make a really special sports car.
And special it is. Oh my God. Listen to the noise! It makes a hell of a racket and it feels fantastic. You can feel the weight reduction as well because it's so much more playful. It dances with you, but in no way that's threatening. It's very catchable. It's very easy to adjust on the throttle or, you know, just by being a good driver, not something I know too much about. The manual gearbox, man, it's so good to have a really sorted shifter in this because it's a very short movement. You've got to put a little bit of effort into it, but man, it feels so good. It's easy enough to heel and toe, though if you're not that way inclined, there is a sport mode, which means it'll blip the throttle on a downshift for you. The brakes, carbon ceramics all round. The pedals a little bit strong, a little bit tough, but once you get working with it, it feels good. This isn't supposed to be a track car. This is supposed to be the kind of hardcore 911 for the road, but it feels at home here. I've driven around this circuit so many times in so many things, and you know, they've been fantastic. Some have been slippery, some haven't been, but this just feels like a proper car. The sensation of speed is phenomenal. It feels so nice, and the noise, because there's so little sound deadening, you get the 911 howl, the thing that's so missing from the new turbocharged, nanny-assisted digital 911s. You get that now. Listen! No, it's not as quick as it could be with a PDK. No, it doesn't have as much downforce or as many technical toys or things like that to make it idiot-proof. The lack of weight, the steering sensation, the manual gearbox and the speed, the throttle response, so natural, so linear. The digital world has a lot to answer for because people can go faster, so much faster. But cars like this, they feel damn good.
It's all lovely and analog and free of the constraints of everyday silliness, but what about the converse? What's the best the digital world has to offer? Well,
that would have to be this, wouldn't it? The car that many people say is the supercar for the PlayStation generation. A lot of people get irked by that, but when you consider that Polyphony Digital, the people that make Gran Turismo for the PlayStation, had a hand in some of the infotainment-y, graphic-y stuff, well, it's a bit PlayStation, isn't it?
This R35 is without doubt one of the most competent fast cars out there. The latest version has been given a nip and a tuck, as well as aero tweaks to help it cut through the air more cleanly than before. It's also stiffer than before, so it should go round corners faster.
All 4 wheels are driven and the power is helped there by a 6-speed dual-clutch automatic transmission. Power-wise, there's 562 brake horsepower to play with. That's 20 more than the old car, thanks in part to a titanium exhaust, and there's 469 pound-foot as well. Performance-wise, Nissan says it'll do 0 to 62 in less than 3 seconds, though independent tests have proved otherwise. And its top speed, well, it's more than you'll ever really need. It's lots of miles an hour.
Inside there are fewer buttons than on the old car thanks to a new screen, though there's still plenty to prop and poke, unlike the 911. There's also a nod to luxury, leather everywhere, etc. Though it's been done in a typical Japanese style, so it leaves me a bit cold, but it's still pretty.
So this thing's all about aero and toys and tips and trickery and stuff like that. Pretty much the opposite of my 911. So, what's she like? The gearbox, this 6-speed thing, is supposed to be better than any that has come before, but it's not brilliant. It feels a bit too slow for what it is. And if you say drag race it against something that has a better gearbox, well, you end up finding out just how bad it is. For example, I did drag race this against our long-term Audi RS6, and while the Audi has less power, it has a better transmission, and I'm pretty sure that's why this thing was completely mullered by it. It feels very, very heavy. When you go into a corner, even with everything set to R mode, you feel the whole thing pitch and roll. That weight does not shift around a little bit. That said, the brakes are pretty fantastic, and the steering, not too bad. It does feel a little bit fake compared to that 911. Where the Porsche has purity, this is very light, kind of unnervingly so. The kind of thing that my mum could drive, and I'm not sticking her in a GT-R. But it just feels a little bit false. Yes, it does the job, and there is some feedback through it, but it just doesn't feel very natural. However, this car's party piece is grip, whereas in the 911, going into these corners at these speeds, I would be all over the place. Pop it in, give it a bootful, I'm less all over the place, but you do get that turbo torque. This engine has phenomenal torque to it. It's very clever. It's a very smart car. Its all-wheel drive system works. It has amazing grip. You can drive it like a complete bastard and it will cling on for dear life. This is a very good car at going very, very quickly. Looking down, doing 120, 125, and now we use the brakes. But having literally just stepped out of a Porsche 911R, this ain't a patch on that.
The GT-R, while immensely competent and so good at going quickly, still left me feeling cold. Most of the work was done by the car, not by me. The 911R though, right now, it's as good as it gets. Long live the old school.